everyone, and welcome back to the Beauty Topics podcast. I'm your host, Chantel, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining me for this episode this Friday. It's actually going to be pretty hair focused, but I do want to touch on something that I was talking about last week. Last week I got a little bit ranty, you know how it is, but it keeps my blood pressure low. Anyway, about the situation with HEB grocery store and the whole CoverGirl concealer situation. And I said that I was going to stop into some different retailers when I had a chance to kind of see what they were doing with their CoverGirl displays. So I did get a chance to go into 2 different Target locations. And both locations had the same number of shades as HEB. Like the shelf size was about the same, but they actually had fair, light, medium, and then deep shades. Like they actually took colors, shades from each I'm tongue tied here. Each selection of shades. Basically, you could find light, you could find medium, you could find tan, and you could find deep. Like they picked 2 shades from different parts of the range. Do you know what I'm saying? So I felt much better about that. So I did pick up the deeper shades at Target, and they were like $8.98 or $8.68, something like that. So I was pretty happy that I was able to get the shades that I needed to refill my kit. And I was happy to see that on the shelf, you could actually see an array of shades and not just pale, 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 pale. Okay, so it is possible to pick a few shades throughout the range and make it fair. HEB, take a note from Target this time. I know Target has gone through some issues, but when it came to that beauty department, I went to each of the displays. I went to Revlon, I went to Maybelline, I went to L'Oreal, and they had shades across the range for everybody. So I thought that was really, really nice. In their beauty department. So that did make me feel better. I still need to stop by a CVS and a Walgreens. I don't typically shop at CVS or Walgreens because have y'all noticed how expensive they are? It is ridiculous how much more expensive it is to go to a CVS or a Walgreens. I remember I needed, like in a pinch, I needed to grab an extra pack of lashes when on my way to another job. And let me tell you something, $16 for some plain old Ardell Demi Wispies. $15.99 is what CVS was charging. And I do feel like CVS is more expensive than Walgreens, but they're both still too pricey to me for the same thing that you can get at a regular grocery store. But I was in the pinch and they had me. So they got my $16 plus tax, which kind of ticked me off, but I didn't have a choice. But yeah, I just don't get why the heck it's so expensive. And have you ever noticed when you go into CVS, there's like 1 or 2 people working? There might be somebody, there'll be somebody in the back in the pharmacy, and then like 1 cashier stocking the shelves, and then you just go to the self-checkout. That just seems low-key kind of dangerous to me because typically it's some, tiny little woman in there all by herself, seems like in this big old store. And it just seems like, I don't know, it seems a little creepy to me, like a little unsafe. I wouldn't want to do it. So I hope they're paid well because they're often working alone. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I just noticed that across my CVS. Is it just the ones out in the area where I live, or has anybody else noticed that? Because I don't know, it seems like a little scary to me. I wouldn't want to work by myself all the time. Seems like that would be kind of lonely and boring, but Anyway, I digress. So yes, still work in progress on that. I did send an email to HEB. I have not gotten a response, so we shall see. I don't know if I emailed the right person. I just sent it to a general email that was on their website. So if I do get a response, I will definitely read it on here and keep you guys updated. But so far, if you want some shades of CoverGirl concealer, you want some different shades and different undertones, you're going to have to go check out your local Target because at least they've got some options for you. So moving on, I kind of want to talk about, I'm going to talk about some of the items that are staples in my kit as far as when I'm doing hairstylings for weddings and pageants and things like that. I've gotten a few questions from some clients recently going, oh, what do you use on my hair? Because my curls lasted so long and when I do it, it doesn't last. So I just want to give you some product ideas that may be on your next trip out. If you're looking for something to get for your hair, you might want to consider some of these. I do love Kenra. So I have quite a few Kenra products. I'm a big fan. And I've got a little mixture here. But I'll just start with all my Kenra products first. Yes, I'm rocking a ponytail today because your girl's been hot and sweaty. So yes, a ponytail it is. And I'm here for it. So one of my favorite Kenra items is the Kenra Platinum Working Spray. So it's a flexible hold hairspray. The hold is 14. Like they kind of do the holds by number so you can see how intense it is. So I do love this one a lot, especially when I'm doing like photo shoots. Like if I'm in studio and I'm doing hair and makeup for just like a photo shoot for just a few hours, and the photographer wants the hair to not look like a helmet. We want it to still have movable hold, be really pretty and flouncy, like especially if you're doing like a boudoir photo shoot and you want those Victoria's Secret curls, you want them to stay loose and bouncy and have movement in the pictures. So I love to use this working spray for those kind of things. I think it's amazing. It doesn't leave a crust on the hair, no white flakiness. You can still run your hands through it and you're still going to get that hold that holds that shape of the curl really nicely. So love that. Next up from Kenra, I also really enjoy the Perfect Medium spray. Okay, this one is a hold of a 13. And I will even spray this on the hair when I'm wrapping it to give it a little bit of a soft hold to the hair. Not super firm, but more of like that soft hold, especially when I'm doing like Hollywood waves or something like that. This is really nice. When they want, actually, I use this more for beachy waves. When they want a beachy wave that's got that wave to it and still holds that texture and smoothness. So I really love this one. It's like I said, it's not super strong hold. The last one I showed you was a 14. This one is a 13. So still a little bit lighter of a hold. But what I like about Kenra products is they also seem to help fight the humidity. I'm down here in Texas. We have an issue with our hair swelling up, getting big, getting poofy. So I love using these sprays to like coat the hair a bit before I go through with that curling iron and like seal the curl. So love the medium spray. That's a good one too. And especially for those of you who are like, I don't like crunchy hairspray. I don't want my hair to feel crispy fried, or you don't like that hold that seems like it takes forever to brush it out at night before you can go and shampoo your hair. So these two options are really, really nice. It's easier to like brush through it with like a wet brush or a detangle brush before you jump in the shower. And you don't feel like you're yanking your hair out because it's so like hard and crispy. The other thing that I like from Kenra Platinum line, I love the dry texture spray. This one is great, especially if you have like, I use this one and I also use their dry shampoo. So I kind of use them interchangeably, but this is really great for like defining, for just like adding that like a little bit of like grip and texture to the hair. So it kind of holds the curl better. It gives you, like I said, it almost gives you like a grip type of situation that you can spray on, as opposed to like a texture powder where you kind of like put at the root and like back comb and give you some more volume that way. I love dry texture spray throughout the hair because it's going to give me it gives me more control over the hair. I will say that, especially if somebody has hair that's like super fine, thin, and it just kind of is very limp. This will give you some texture and some oomph to the hair, so to keep that limp hair up and working for you and not just laying there so flat. So love that. And what else do I have from Kenra? Hold on. I actually have two more Kenra products. Yes, I do. So this is the Thermal Styling Spray. This is a really good one. It's a firm hold heat activated spray. So I do love to spritz this, especially my girls that have like really long hair. It's all one length. I like to spritz the hair, brush through this with a wet brush, because this is more of like a traditional like pump spray. It's not an aerosol. Okay. So I like to spritz it down on the hair. Like I said, especially like the long hair, brush it through and then really wrap it and let it let the heat of the iron really like seal it to the hair. And this really helps fight humidity too. So that way, when I'm done wrapping all those long strands, I'll take like a wide tooth comb and really go through that hair and be able to create a nice sleek style. So this, it gives a firm hold, but not, how do I say it? Not helmet head, but it will give a firm hold to the curl. So the curl is really secure. I like to use it on my long hair girls because their hair is heavy. Sometimes that long hair, no matter how much spray you use of other things, it's heavy. The curls start to just drag and droop throughout the day. And so using something like this that is like damp and moist and brushing it through and then really sealing it in that hair and wrapping gives you just a little bit more control, gives it a better hold when the hair is very, very heavy. Okay, so that's a good one. Love that one. And then I also love the Maximum Hold finishing spray from Kenra. We go through cans and cans and cans and cans of this stuff backstage at beauty pageants because pageant hair, you want it to hold. You want the stiffness, you want the firmness, you want to be able to turn and move on stage, and that hair is going with you. Those waves are secure, the curl is secure, the volume is locked in. So this is a 26, which is extremely high hold for Kenra. This is their maximum hold. And it is, like it says, it's a finisher. Like, it's that final step that goes all over the style. Once you've completed it and you've locked that style in the way that you want it, going over the entire thing with this can, let me tell you something. It'll lock it in and it won't leave your hair looking crusty, dusty, and gross. Your style will be beautiful and it will hold up so well. Love, love, love that. Okay, next up. I got a couple products from Color Wow that I really like. I love the Style on Steroids. It's the Performance Enhancing Texture and Finishing Spray. It says, get sexy texture and record get sexy texture and record setting results, non-stiff, non-sticky hold with thermal protection. So whatever that's supposed to mean, child. But I do love Style on Steroids. It's really good. Like I said, I love the dry texture spray too, but the Style on Steroids is another phenomenal product. This one it gives you that texture for the limp hair. It's also really good. I noticed a lot of people backstage using it to like help reset curls, giving it a nice spray on those curls underneath, giving a nice little comb through with a pick, and then like reshaping it. So this is really good for reshaping as well because it will also give you some hold. So this is a phenomenal product, whether before the style, after the style, reshaping the style. This is really, really good to have in your kit. Another product I enjoy from Color Wow is the Pop and Lock. This is a high gloss finishing product. So sometimes we've just worked the hair to death and the style may be pretty, but it may not have that shine. It may not have that glisten the way you really want the lights to hit it on stage. And you want that hair to just look like Hollywood hair. You want it to look like glamorous movie hair. So using a little shot of this, massage it into your palms and go over that style. It gives the glossy finish. You want that like Jessica Rabbit, almost cartoonish glow to the hair. That's what the Pop and Lock will give you from Color Wow. It's beautiful. It gives the most glossy shine finish to the hair. Stunning. I love it. We use this a lot in my industry on Hollywood waves as a finisher, just because you want that pretty shiny glowiness to the hair. This looks great on blondes. It looks great on jet black hair. Oh my goodness. Any hair color, but when you rub this through some jet black hair, hunty, the shine will knock you out. So beautiful. And you use very little, like one pump, half a pump will do you, depending on, how much hair you're polishing, but beautiful, beautiful product. Okay, what else we got? Next, we have an old faithful that a lot of people swear by. This is the Got to Be Glued Blasting Freeze Spray. It says spike, cement, finish, screaming hold. I used to use this more like years ago. Like, I'm really more into Kenra right now, but I also understand this has a place. Spiky haircuts, like pixies that you really are trying to hold a specific shape. I use this more so on shorter hair, like shorter hairstyles, to really freeze them and lock them in, because I want them to not move. Once we lock that style in, I want to make sure it's set for the entire day, and the Got to Be Glued spray will absolutely do that. This is one of those, though, you really do need to work this out of the hair before you get into the shower, okay? You really want to brush through it really, really well, and I would also say shampoo your hair 3 to 4 times, and also deep condition before you get out after using something like this, because I do find this product to be on the drying side, if I'm being honest. It absolutely does what it says it's going to do. I just feel like it does dry out the hair. So you definitely want to do like a mask or a deep condition after you've had a style, after you've worn a style locked in with the Got to Be Glued. But if you're like a guy, you've got like a nice short spiky cut and you really want some texture to your hair, this is phenomenal for you guys too, to pick up a can of this. It's sold at most retailers, your Walmarts, your Targets, your grocery stores, Kroger, HEB, things like that. Most places are going to have the Got to Be Glued spray. It's very inexpensive. I believe it's like $7.98, so it's typically less than $10. So it's definitely a good option for shorter styles. So that's a good one. And then this particular product right here, this is called the Freeze It Spray. This is the Mega Freeze. This is something that I typically only see at Walmart. I need to shout out Kaylee Dillard. Give her a follow on Instagram. She is a phenomenal hairstylist and makeup artist. She's in the Alabama area. She takes care of all the pageant girls. She does Little Miss Peanut pageants. She's incredible. Okay. Her hands are blessed. And she has the most fabulous personality, and she's one of the sweetest people you ever want to meet, my little Southern Belle Kaylee. So she is the one who hipped me and the entire rest of the hair and makeup team to this It Mega Freeze Spray. She always had this in her kit, and I'd just be like, Kaylee, what is that stuff? Because I would see it at Walmart, never pulled the trigger, never purchased it. I had some assumptions about it. Why? I don't know. But this product, it is just phenomenal. This is what you call extreme hold hairspray. Okay. This is when the wind can blow. You could be tornado force winds. Okay. This is your tornado force winds hairspray. If you have just created the prettiest style of your life and you want to wear it for 3 days and sleep on your face, this is your spray. When they say Mega Freeze Extreme Hold, they mean that with every part of their spirit. This stuff is the highest hold I have ever seen in hairspray. It's more than my Kenra 26. It's more than the Got To Be. But what I will say about this one is I don't feel like it's as drying as the Got To Be for some odd reason. And I feel like this one is a bit easier to work out of the hair. I do recommend like getting a wet brush and working through it and brush before you jump in the shower if you're going to use this product, because your style is going to be locked in legit for days. Okay. This stuff is crazy. It works so well. Mega Freeze is the perfect name. It says all weatherproof, 24-hour hold. They mean that. It says with optical brighteners for enhanced shine. And I will say that about this hairspray. Like it gives the hair is shiny once you use it. It's not like dry and dull or crusty looking. It gives a nice shine, almost like a slight little, I don't want to say glow, but I kind of do want to say glow. Like the hair doesn't look dull. Your hair won't look dull after using this hairspray. Some hairsprays actually, once you spray it on, it almost leaves a film that dulls the hair color. This does not do that. Your bright hair color is going to show right through. This is great on redheads. It's great on like a really like soft brown, because sometimes like jet black hair, normally you can get it to be pretty shiny, but sometimes like those mousy browns and things like that, or sometimes the blonde hair just doesn't have the glow. It doesn't have the shine because it's so damaged, especially if it's really, really toned and really cool tone. It just doesn't look shiny. But this hairspray will absolutely help lock in some shine. I'm telling you, this pop lock and this spray, you got you a shiny combination right here. Your hair will be beautiful. You'll be wanting to whip it like you're on a commercial. Okay. So beautiful. So I love this Mega Freeze spray. Very, very inexpensive. You can buy it in a double pack at Walmart, and I think the double pack's like $13. So very inexpensive. Now, beware. They have two versions of this. One of the versions has like a purple, like this label on this one, this Mega Freeze has an orange label. And the orange label, that's what says the optical brighteners, okay? So there's also one that has a purple label. I do not recommend that one. I do not like that one. The formula is not the same. This one is the one you want to get. So Mega Freeze, but the orange label. Do not get the purple label. Okay. And purple's my favorite color. And I was like, oh, I'll try it. Child, no, that's two different formulas. You don't want that. That's not what you want, player. Okay. And then I have a couple of texture powders that I really, really like for, using on the roots, getting some lift, doing some back combing action, some teasing. This one is my favorite one. This one's from Kristen S. I typically purchase this at Ulta. I have lucked up a few times and was able to get some at TJ Maxx, but 9 times out of 10, I'm purchasing at Ulta with like a coupon and some points. Because if I'm not mistaken, this one is about $12 and it does have a pump to it. And I do enjoy the pump, but what I will say is you'll think it's empty and then you'll open it and you'll see there's still like a third of the powder left in there, because the little tube that sends the powder up to the nozzle, I think it's too short or something. And I noticed that in a lot of them. So I'll have them built up and then I'll have 2 or 3 of them that like stopped pumping, and then I'll twist them open and I'll dump all the leftover powder into one So that way I have a full one again and I can go right back to using it, because I love having the control of being able to just like use this nozzle and pump the texture powder right at the roots of the hair, as opposed to like sprinkling. I prefer the pump action, but I love the texture of this specific powder. It's very grippy. It has a soft grippiness to it. Like, it doesn't feel super gritty in your hands, but in the hair, it's so grippy. It really makes your back combing and your teasing just really, really last. And you can get so much lift at your roots with this texture powder. She really nailed this specific formula. I love it so much. And it's just called the Loose Styling Powder by Kristen S. And like I said, this one's available at Ulta. Regular price is $12. And then there's also the Old Faithful Big Sexy Hair Big Powder Play. This one also comes in a light version. It's called the Light Powder Play, and it does have a nozzle. It does have a pump on it. This is just the original one, but it's that kind that you have to like tap out. And I know a lot of people really like this because you can see how much you have left. You're able to tap it along the root line and get it out. But for me, I'm just a nozzle girl because I also like to get texture powder into those curls. And I like that lightness of being able to like really get those puffs of texture powder on the entire style when I'm working with it. And this one is a little bit harder to do that because it's just a little sprinkle cap, almost like sprinkling salt and pepper on your food. So it's a phenomenal product. I would just, for me, typically what I'll do with these is I crack the top open, this little nozzle, the little part, the little sifter part on the top. Child, I cannot talk today. What's wrong with me? I'm tired. I pop this sifter off and shake the powder into one of these Kristen S bottles that I have that I save. So that way I can use my nozzle, because the nozzle is the way to go. I'm telling you, it's so much easier than all this sprinkling, because I just feel like I have so much less control, and I've ended up wasting a lot of products trying to tap the right amount. So I end up wasting more of this one. So I don't like that aspect of it, but if you like it, I love it for you. But that's it, you guys. Yeah, that's all some of my favorite hair products that are keeping my hair kit. If you have any questions, please put them down in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. And like I said, I will keep you updated on my ongoing feud with HEB. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video and checking me out on Spotify, iHeartRadio, whatever you get your podcast. Thank y'all so much, and I'll check you later. Bye.